All right, today is Saturday, and today we're going to be talking about what I would do if I owned a replacement window and door company. Now, the reason why I'm starting with this is because I've done some work in this industry before, and there's a lot of similar problems that I see amongst almost all of the replacement window and door companies down here, at least. So this is going to be fun. These sessions are going to be not as formal, not as direct, but where I see some challenges and exactly what I would do to help overcome them. This is also one of these industries, the window and door, where I'm actively looking to invest in this industry and acquire a window and door company. So if you know anybody that's looking to step aside, if you yourself are looking to step aside, if you want to start another chapter of your life, let's talk a little bit. But anyway, so one of the main problems that I see, or one of the main challenges I see, the first thing is that there's a lot of churn throughout the salespeople. A window and door company, all actually home service providers of any kind, regardless of the channels that you are marketing. I see a lot of door knocking. I see a lot of cold calling, but there's a lot of churn between their salespeople, meaning a lot of their salespeople do not stay very long. And it is a constant battle between training, hiring more people, leaving. Okay, so how could you actually overcome the challenge of salespeople constantly leaving? There's a couple things. One thing I often see, and it's bothered me for many years, is managers actually lie to the salespeople. Now, what do I mean by this? Quite often, I hear sales managers telling the salespeople that it's a one call close type deal. We never go back. It's just one and done. There's no communication afterwards. We don't call them. We don't do this. We don't do that. And that's it. But that is quite often a bold-faced lie, because it might be the salesperson's one and only chance because they're not going to go back. But quite often I see where the managers then call back that customer and maybe even offer them a discount because they did not buy. That's just wrong in my opinion. And quite often, once the salespeople learn about this, they're absolutely just done with the company. There's no reason to be lying to your salespeople if you want them to go to bat for you and your company. So one, don't lie to your salespeople. But another thing that I see is the same challenge, right? Salespeople always leaving. And how do you combat the idea that you always need to train people? One thing that I would do, what I would invest heavily in, is a way to bring this business completely online. Now, what do I mean by that? First, you start by building and designing a sales presentation where your potential customers can watch online. Very simple. You make one great sales presentation and you could send that to every single one of your customers, your prospects, everybody who's interested in getting windows and doors. There should be I don't see a reason anymore why we need to have salespeople driving around town 20, 30 miles in each direction because you're going across counties just to sit in front of a customer, open up their iPad, and go through a slideshow that talks about how I have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, and we've been in business for 15, 20 years, and we've been doing this, and we have 5-star ratings, and look at all the houses we've done. Yesterday, we talked about a value proposition. And when you say things like A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, when you say things like, oh, we were featured in Builder Trend magazine, whatever it is, or we've been in business for 20 years, that is not a strong value proposition. You actually make yourself seem like everybody else. And in the customer's mind, if you're just like everybody else, there's no reason where I need to choose you, because you're just like everybody else. You are not telling me anything differently. You're not showing me anything differently. The last 3 people that came to my house said the exact same thing you did. So when a customer is in front of a salesperson and they're just spewing details over an iPad, they're also thinking, I could have done this from my laptop, on my computer. You could have just sent me this information. So one, I would invest heavily in a great movie production quality sales presentation. I would invest heavily in that. But now you're saying, Alex, I work in this industry. I need people to be at their house because I need to measure the windows and doors. Absolutely, I understand. But today, for the last couple years, AI has been getting incredibly good. And they already have measuring apps. Okay, I know my iPhone can take out a little measuring tape and get a pretty good, accurate measurement. Not down to the 16s or the 5/8, none of that, right? At least I don't trust that yet, right? But I also know once you get your measurements, once you quote the customers, then no matter what, even if the salesperson's in the house, you're going to send somebody out to the house to double check on the measurements one last time anyway, before you manufacture, you put in your order for the windows. So what I would heavily invest in, aside from my amazing sales presentation, would be an app where the customers themselves will take pictures of the windows and AI will generate the measurements. I'm going to say that once again because I really like this idea. An app where the homeowner themselves can tell you, I want to replace this window. They take out their phone, they take a picture of it, and then it's a whole walkthrough process. And then they could decide if they want a single hung window, if they want a horizontal roller, whatever they want. I want that style window, aluminum frames. I want them to be bronze, or I want them to be white. I want low E glass. I want frosted glass here. I want this. I want that. And go through all the options one by one. I want French doors here. I want a fiberglass door here, whatever it might be. And let the customers build and design out their own package. And then at the end of the walkthrough of the app, it could spit out a rough estimate about exactly how much it's going to cost. That, in my opinion, is the very future of this industry. There's going to be a point where there's not going to be a need for salespeople to drive around. And if the market's already going in that direction, why wait for it to pass you by? You should start now designing this very system and putting it into work and testing it little by little. Because let's say it's going to take the industry as a whole 2 years to get there, or 2 years to mandate this process and this system. If you start now and you have 2 years to develop and perfect a system to get there, once the industry shifts and now your competitors start doing it, they start the 2-year process, you're going to blow them out of the water and you're going to be light years ahead of them in the marketplace because you started now figuring out ways to build a system where the customer can do it themselves, where you're not relying on a salesperson anymore. You're not reliant on traffic jams and rescheduling and all the great things that come along with in-person and home sales presentations. Think about this a little bit longer, but this is something that you should absolutely work to do. All right. And now another thing, another challenge that I often see, it's not even just in this industry, but we're focusing on this industry today right now. Another thing that I see is that you are just like everybody else. Every single window and door replacement company is exactly the same. They offer the same brands. They do the same work. There's nothing that stands apart. So something that I have that I love, an exercise that I love, is called the Value Ecosystem Matrix. And what the Value Ecosystem Matrix does, it allows you business owners to identify where your customers are also spending money. Okay. It helps you identify complementary and substitute products before, during, and after your sales process where your customers are still spending money, and allows you to see how you can get that money for yourself by integrating the different products and services into your specific business, helping you become, once again, the go-to company in your marketplace. All right. So it helps you identify the complementary things that work with your product and substitute products, things that replace your product or your service, things that replace it, and lets you, through different methods, through different channels, be able to get that revenue for yourself as well by offering those products and services. And these are all based around your customers' main goals for purchasing your product or service in the first place. So when it comes to the replacement window and doors, why do people buy new windows for their home? There's what I've seen are 4 main reasons why people buy windows and doors. So the first one that I see is 1, energy efficiency. People buy new windows and doors because they want their home to be more energy efficient. The second thing that I see is that people want more safety and security. All right. They're afraid of people breaking into their house and they want impact glass because it's going to be harder for people to break in. Okay. Safety and security. Or they just had a baby and they're really, regardless, people want more safety and security. Number 3, since I said I'm about down here in Florida, so hurricanes, they want hurricane protection or weather protection. So hurricane protection as well. And then they just want their house to look nicer. Maybe they're going to sell their house, so they want more curb appeal, or they just bought the house and they have those old jalousie windows and they just want to make the house look more appealing, prettier. They want to redesign the house, whatever it may be. Okay. So when you take into the idea of the main goals that your customers purchase your product for in the first place, and then you lay out complementary and substitute products that align with that main goal, this is something that every single business can do and should do to, 1, increase revenue, increase your average transaction value, increase the frequency of purchase, and increase the number of new customers that you can get. So I've played with this idea for a long time where, okay, you are a window and door replacement company, but you should have 4 departments and 4 channels that let you acquire new customers and get new customers. So these departments will be the main goals. And some industries might have more, some might have less. But when it comes to window and doors, again, you have an energy efficient department, you have a safety and security, you have a hurricane protection or weather protection, and you have a curb appeal. So let's go through this. What are other products and services that your customers would buy to also increase their energy efficiency for their house? So besides low E windows, they could buy an energy efficient water heater, a hybrid water heater, a tankless water heater. They could buy solar panels for their house to drop their energy bill. They could buy insulation for their attic. So just a couple things there. A higher efficient AC unit, window tinting. They could do a lot of different things. Solar attic fans, they could wrap their attic. There's a lot of energy efficient upgrades, right? So if you have a department where you also, either you becoming a dealer of certain products, you buy the products wholesale at a super low price and you sell it to them retail, you could actually just partner with these companies and get a referral fee or a distributor fee or just a split on revenue or a flat fee. There's all these things that you could do to be able to offer these other products and services to your customers. 1, increasing the transaction value size so you could increase your revenue and give your customers more ways and means to invest money with you and your company. Because let's say for now they do the windows and doors, but in 6 months you send an email and you say, hey, we also do energy efficient AC units and our water heaters. And then that gives you our spray foam insulation or whatever it might be. And then you get them to come back to your company because you are also offering other products and services that they need and want because their main goal is energy efficiency. Same thing with safety and security. You could offer camera systems, alarm systems, monitoring as part of the alarm system. So when you attract a customer that says, I'm here for safety and security, and these are all different marketing campaigns. You need to market your company as an energy efficiency company whose main product is windows and doors. And then you also offer this and that. You have an entirely different marketing campaign for safety and security. You have an entirely different marketing campaign for hurricanes and for weather protection. And you have an entirely different marketing campaign for enhancing curb appeal. And all four of these, their main products and services. Product is the window and door replacements. And then you upsell and cross-sell and you do all these other things to help you identify other ways and means to get your customers to come back and buy the other products and services that complement the windows and doors that you are mainly trying to get more people to buy from you and your company. Okay? So that'll be it for today. Focus on those few things. I think it's going to be a game changer for anybody, any business owner who decides to listen to what I just said and implement the things that I just said. All right, one, stop lying to your salespeople. But main things, invest in a killer sales presentation. Find or develop an app that will do these things for you. Measure all the windows and doors, measure all the openings. And then obviously you're still going to send somebody out there to double check. But the customer can walk through this process from their own home without being bothered by a salesperson who's just going to try to push them into buying anyway. We've all been exposed to too many salespeople. We all have sales resistance. The minute a salesperson comes into our home to give us a free quote, it's ridiculous. Anyway, we all have the same sales resistance. You as the business owner, if somebody knocks on your door, you already know what's about to happen. So it's all the same. Everybody's getting tired of it. So there's going to be a point in this industry where it's not going to be tolerated anymore. And I just want you to jump ahead of the curve. All right. Killer sales presentation, an app that could walk them through it. And then lastly, bundling or integrating complementary and substitute products so you stand out and you become the go-to customer. Actually, let me go through one last thing that I also see. We didn't talk about any substitute products. A substitute product most people would believe would be like hurricane shutters. If somebody buys shutters, they don't buy hurricane windows. This is actually something that has changed over the last couple of years because far too often when somebody buys hurricane protection windows, impact glass, new windows and doors, for some reason, a lot of people still want shutters because they just invested in new windows and doors and now they want to protect their investment and they still put shutters. So with that thinking, you need to partner with or acquire a shutter company to also go along with your windows and doors because before they used to be substitute products. You either buy one or the other. But today, they are quite often complementary, where a lot of people still want shutters with their windows. So that's when it comes to before, during, and after, that is an after sale. Something that some people will still spend money on after they buy your product. So with that being said, that will be it for today. I hope you got some value out of today's video. If you did, please share and subscribe to the channel. And then I will see you on Monday. All right. Have a good weekend.